Okay, we're now looking at page 227. And on this page, they give you the same functions that were on page 211. And we did wholes, zeros, asymptotes. We just didn't do minimums and maximums. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to go back. We did all that stuff before. You can go look at the videos on that. So I'm going to turn these, I've typed them all in here so I don't have to waste your time for me typing them in. You can put the on pause. There's the first one, and I'm going to go zoom 6. Has that slant asymptote, and it's doing some wiggling around there. And if we go zoom out, just in case there's something further out. Okay, so we have a minimum there, and we have stuff going on there. So we'll go to there, but we'll get that minimum first of all. So second, calculate that minimum. That's somewhere out here, maybe between 5, yep, and 10. It's my guessing, and so I'm going to guess it's around 9. 9 for my guess, and there says it's at 8, but the minimum is at 19.46. And now I'm going to go for a maximum, see if there is any. So now I'm going to go zoom in, not there, but I'm really interested in zooming in this area. Easier to do on your Desmos. Can't really tell yet whether but it looks like it just goes through once at 2. I'm going to zoom in again, so it's coming up and it just goes across, so there's no minimum there. It doesn't bounce or anything. I can zoom in one more time just to check. Goes up, doesn't bounce, just keeps going up. So no other max or mins on that one. So let's go to the next one. And I'm going to push zoom 6. So it's got a oblique asymptote, and it comes up. So there's a maximum there, and nothing there, and a minimum there of 0. So it has a minimum of 0. And looks like it has a max there. Let's go zoom out just to check. Comes up, max there, this winds down, and there's a minimum there. Okay, so now I'm going to come down to here. That's where I'm interested in for the maximum, and I'm going to go zoom in on that place. And it looks like it happens really close to 0, and maybe on the minus sign, so I'm going to go second, calculate the maximum. That's somewhere between -3 and 1. And I'm going to guess 0, and it's going to say, no, it's a little bit negative, and it's negative 9.36. That's a local max. Okay? Now, just a note, they talked about global max. A global max is the highest place the graph ever gets. And a lot of these are all go to infinity. And the global min is the lowest place, and that would be negative infinity on all these. There's no global max or mins on these. Okay, we're ready to do number 3. That's this one. Turn it on. Graph. Oh, I got that. Zoom 6. So it looks like it's wiggling around there and wiggling around there. So there may be a max. It looks like it goes up and down a little bit there and up and down. So it looks like there's a max on either side. And I don't see anything in the middle, so I bet there's something up above here. So we're going to start by going over here, zoom in, and it's going up and then it goes down. So this is, oh, I don't know, what was that about? This is negative 2.5, so I'm going to say between negative 4 and negative 2. Second calc, a maximum between negative 4 and negative 2, and I'm going to guess negative 3, and it says there is a maximum of 0.07. It happens at negative 2.7, and I think there's one on the other side, so I'm going to go zoom 6. Kind of looked to me like it went up a button and down again, so I'm going to look between 2 and 4. Second, calculate a max between 2 and 4. And I'm going to guess 3, and it says there's another one of same value again. It happens in two different places, on the negative side and the positive side. Now, in between here, it could come up, but that would mean that the denominator has this asymptote of negative 1 twice and a positive 1 twice. And it looks like it's 0 is an asymptote twice. So there's stuff going on around 0, and I'm not sure what it is. So let's go to the middle and go zoom out. There it goes down. Yep, there's stuff up there. What I suspected. So I'm going to go zoom 6 again, back to this graph, and I'm going to look for that minimum that's around 0. So second, calculate a minimum that's between negative 1 and 1, and my guess is 0, and it says divide by 0, fail. And that's because 0 is a factor. There's a hole in this. Well, there's not a hole. There's an asymptote at 0. So let's take a closer look at this. Second quit graph. And I'm going to look between -1 and 0. So window, I want to look from -1 to 0 in the x, and I want to look up higher, so I'm going to look between 10 and 20 in the y graph, and there it comes down, and I bet it comes down on the other side of 0. So that minimum, I made this window from -1 to 0. So second, calculate the minimum between -1 and 0, and I'm going to guess negative 0.5, and there it is, 13.9. And I'm going to guess it's probably just about the same on the other side. So I need to go change my window from 0 to 1. And there it comes down. And I'm going to guess second, calculate. The minimum is probably about the same amount. I'm looking between 0 and 1. Going to guess 0.5, and it says 13.9. So this happens 2 places, and the other one happens 2 places. So this graph looks like it goes up like this, then it has a boop and a boop with an asymptote, a double asymptote there. That's why it goes in the same direction. Opposite this one at 1, same direction on that side, same direction on this side of the y-axis, goes up, and then at 1 here goes up and down. That's what this thing looks like. Okay. This one. So we're going to now go to clear that one. Go to this one, turn it on, graph, on zoom 6. So this looks like it just constantly goes up, and this one just constantly goes up. Doesn't look like it does anything fancy. Horizontal asymptote of 1, which we found out before. And I don't think there's any zeros. It doesn't look like it goes up and back down. But you can check. I don't think there is. Okay? But there are some holes. And then finally, y equals, let's go to the last one. Zoom 6. That one drops down. This one comes down. And it has a horizontal asymptote at 1. I don't know that it crosses 1. Let's go zoom 4. It's got a hole there and hole there at 1 and at 2. And 1, I don't think it ever goes across that. I'm going to type in another one, y equals 1, and graph. So there's that. And I can go this way, and I should be able to keep moving that way. Well, nope. If I go trace and go that way, we can see if it ever goes across this line, but I don't think it does. It's getting closer and closer and closer, but it doesn't go over it. You see how it's not going over it? And I can go the other way. Goes down there, comes from above there, and I don't think it crosses this, so it can't go down and then come back up, approaching this, so there's going to be no max and minimums. A lot of the factors cancel because of the holes. So no max or mins on this one. Okay.